Welcome back for the second part of our online Q&A. I'm pleased to have with us Romain, who just joined us who will cover some of the topics I will discuss now. We hope you had some energy after the break because we have a lot of topics to cover, mainly focusing on how to submit a good EUI project proposal and to be successful for the second call for proposal. So we'll start by covering the main aspect, the main strengths of a good EUI proposal. We'll go on to how to design your intervention logic, how to fill in your application form, and we'll end by presenting the new transfer component. So first we'll have Agnieszka will present the first part of this second part. So it will be about a good EUI project.
Okay, thank you, Kathleen, for this introduction. Indeed, we will talk now about a good EUI project. So I will try to walk you through a main feature of what we call innovative actions, what is important for our EUI innovative actions methodology, and I would really like you to pay attention to this presentation because this is what we are looking for, also while assessing the applications. So I hope you will be able to learn some interesting aspects of how to design an innovative actions project. Okay, so first of all, EUI, and specifically its innovative action strand is quite specific. Sometimes we like to call our initiative Urban Lab for Europe. It's because to some extent we can simply say that we are research and development fund. And we offer funding for cities that would like to pilot innovative solutions related to sustainable urban development. So we finance innovations, we look for new urban ideas, and we welcome risky, creative, and experimental projects. So projects that we would like to welcome and that we encourage you to submit should be new, should be bold, should be creative and experimental, and they must go beyond present state of art and business as usual. So the projects that you are proposing should also not be previously tested or implemented in EU. Even if an innovative solution that you're reflecting on is new for your city or for your country, but it's already a well-established way of working in other European countries, this is unfortunately not what we are looking for here. We are looking for new ideas. Now, often we receive a question, okay, but how do I know if my idea is innovative? We ask you also in the application form to build on research and on benchmarking. So we ask you to run a benchmarking exercise to explain how and to what extent your proposed solution is different from already existing good practices, how and to what extent you build on those, how you go beyond these existing practices. How to do it? Of course, you need to also rely on your local innovative environment around you. So you can liaise with your local university, with experts on the topic. I'm sure you have specialists around you who are able also to tell you if your solution is innovative or if your solution is bringing some added value to already existing good practices. But this benchmark exercise is really important, and you will find a space in the application form where we ask you to do that. There are several also tools that we mention in the application form that might be helpful for you to do it. So you can refer to Cities Network. We also give you some ideas, some examples, some links to different project databases, different platforms of cooperation that you can search through them, and you can see if what you're reflecting on is already being developed maybe by other countries, or this is indeed something new. So new not only for your city or for your country, but in European scale, and benchmarking exercise, very important. Now, We often also receive a question, what we are actually looking for. How do you mean that you're looking for innovation? What is innovation? So first of all, we are not only looking for technological innovations. Innovation for us can be anything. It can be a product, it can be a service, it can be a process. So it's really up to you where you see a need for innovation. It can have more social character or more infrastructure character. Of course, we are financed from ERDF funds, so investments warmly welcome, and you can propose them, but it's up to you what is the character of your innovation. We also recognize two types of innovations. One, which we can call radical innovating, so really a revolutionary approach, that you propose something brand new, something never tested before, or more evolutionary approach, that actually you're proposing a solution that is building on lessons learned from the past, is going one step forward with already existing certain approaches, is adding some new elements to that, is building on those, so more like an evolutionary way. And these two approaches are fine. They are two welcome. Now, what is also very important, and especially for this generation of Innovative Actions project, is that we are looking for city-led innovations. It means that city must play a strategic role in both development and delivery of the innovative solution. Of course, you will be surrounded by your partners and they will help you in implementing the solution, and that's why you need to have a strong partnership. But what's important is that you as a city are key drivers here, that you're sure that this innovative solution is coming from your needs, is linked to your policy, your strategy. You're interested in scaling it up if you will be successful with your solution, and you are the ones leading the partnership. This is something what we look for. This is something what we will assess. Already my colleagues from the Commission mentioned many times that we look for the solution that will be relevant to achieve cohesion policy goals. So again, in the application form, we will ask you to select the one from the drop-down menu, and please be as concrete as possible, as specific as possible. So don't try to prove that you're linked to everything, because we all know that everything can be linked to everything, but select the one that is the most suitable for your particular solution and explain why. Because environmental and climate challenges are really important ones these days, we are also looking for all our projects to contribute towards climate neutral economy 2050. So regardless the topic you will select, we would ask you to elaborate in your application form how you contribute to green and digital transition. It doesn't have to be your key aspect, but it's important that you will refer to that. Another aspect that is important element that I would like to mention is a solid work plan. And we will have a session about it, so you will be able to hear more how to develop a solid work plan. But the most important is that we are not only looking for, strategically speaking, good ideas, but also well thought over, implementable ideas. So application form is designed in a way that there are many sections there, but some of them are more strategic. When we ask you what is your main challenge, what is the proposed solution, ask you what are your targets group, etc., etc. But there is also a part that is dedicated to work plan, and it's equally important that you really present a clear, a logical work plan, realistic ambition, effective management structures. Please pay attention to that. And make sure that it's well elaborated. And we also give you some guidance here on the slide, exactly which chapter from our EUI guidance you should look into, because there you can find a lot of helpful tips how to understand our methodology, because we use complicated words. We say objectives, activities, deliverables, outputs, everything is explained there, and we will also have a presentation about it in a moment. We are looking for projects that are participative, meaning that we are both looking for strong partnership. According to our methodology, innovative actions project can only be implemented in partnership. So we are not really interested in project delivered only by public authority. We need to see a strong partnership around the table. Ideally, we look for quadruple helix. So we would like to see public authorities, industry, academia, civil society being with you, making sure that the project is well implemented. And following one of the key principles of New Leipzig Charter, participation and co-creation are one of the key principles of good urban governance. So we would also like to see strong mechanism in place here regarding participation, co-creation throughout entire project implementation. We are looking for projects that are measurable. And you've already heard before the break that we also propose certain predefined indicators. So we look for, first of all, we look for clearly defined changes that will be achieved as a result of your project implementation. You need to be very precise about it. And we look for specific, realistic, measurable results which are quantified through indicators. Some of them are predefined in TOR. So we invite you to look into them and select the relevant ones and also propose the project-specific ones. And how important monitoring and evaluation is for us as an important feature of innovative actions is that we have even a separate dedicated work package to monitoring and evaluation activities. And moreover, we ask you to finish implementation of your project piloting 6 months before. So then 6 last months of your project implementation can be dedicated to evaluating, to summarizing, to observing your pilot's daily operations. We look for projects that are sustainable and scalable. Sustainable, it means that they need to, on the one hand, bring significant and durable contribution to address challenges, but also we want you already at the application stage to answer a question and reflect on future ownership and future potential funding sources. So this what's next question, what's after the project implementation, that is also important to elaborate in your application form. And we look for projects that have a potential to be scaled up. In the scale of the city, so if your solution will be successful, how you will further implement it in a broader scale. Finally, we look also for projects that are transferable, and because it's a new feature of our Innovative Actions project, very important, we will have a separate presentation dedicated to that. So stay with us for more details coming soon. And finally, I would like to let you know that about our application process. Our application process is 100% paperless, so you need to submit your application through electronic exchange platform. The deadline was already mentioned. I saw a question, someone asked when projects will be selected. We aim to select the projects to finalize the assessment process in May 2024. And documents to be submitted, you need to submit, of course, application form, signed confirmation sheet, which is part of the electronic exchange platform. You will see it. You can sign it electronically. You can print it and sign it. And optionally, you can attach your annex. And very important is to remember that annex is not an extension of your application form. So you can't just continue writing what you can't elaborate on due to character limit in the application form. It's more to illustrate certain aspects, add a graph or add a drawing, a map. And annexes are not translated to English, because in principle you are allowed to submit your application form in any EU language. We will translate it for you, but we will not translate the annexes. And there are also some useful documents, technical guidance for EEP, but also a Word version of the application form, so you can work offline together with your partners. Regarding our selection process, there are 3 steps. There is eligibility check, which is a simple yes-no kind of process. We check the eligibility of your urban authority. We check if all partners are located in EU member states, etc. So very, very straightforward process. Then we move to strategic assessment, which is 70% of the score, so really, really important. And this is done by a panel of external experts, of assessors. Shortlisted applications are then moved to the last step, which is operational assessment, 30% of the score, and the highest ranking applications are approved. After each step, we have a notification moment, so you will know if you were successful after each step. And finally, selection and notification, as explained, May 2024. Thank you.
So we're now going to move to the Q&A.
Thank you, Agnieszka. Before jumping into the questions that are specifically targeted on what is a good EUI project, we would like to remind you that we were not able to answer all questions, but we will be having a dedicated question and answer online on the 17th of July for all financial aspects of an EUI project. And also you can write to us at innovativeactions@urbaninitiative.eu, which will be now put underneath in the banner, where you can ask us specific questions on eligibility, and also any other questions you would have. And we also encourage you to check our frequently asked questions on the website. So Agnieszka, I'm going to jump back to a question that we had a bit before on what is the expected geographical scale of the proposals that an innovative action solution should submit?
Thank you, Sofia. As I mentioned, we finance urban projects, city projects. So in principle, geographical scale is city, but if it's city as a whole, it also depends a bit on the size of your city. If it's a city as a whole, or it's rather a neighborhood or a district or certain location in the city, it really depends on the nature of your project. If you're looking more for a systemic innovative solution, you would probably go for a bit broader scale. If you're looking for piloting a certain concrete solution targeted to a specific type of area, then naturally your project will be more limited to, for example, a neighborhood or a specific part of your city.
Thank you, Aga. A related question from our audience is, if a city or a project applicant performs a small pilot testing for a solution at EU level, are they eligible, or should it only be focused on the city scale?
We are looking for projects that are focused on a city scale, indeed. And we are looking also for rather local projects. So I've also noticed that some of the questions were related to more like international character. Like, for example, can our delivery partners come from other member states? Can we have another urban authority coming from other member states? So in principle, although it's not forbidden in our rules, and regarding delivery partners coming from other member states or city located nearby, it's not forbidden, but this is not necessarily what is the core of we are looking here, because we are trying to support local innovations and to support local innovative ecosystem.
Thank you, Aga. Perhaps one last question, even though eligibility, as we said before, should be directed directly to us through our email address. Participants are still wondering if the 50,000 threshold applies well to all three projects, call for projects.
Yes, that's correct. 50,000, minimum 50,000 inhabitants. It's our eligibility rule, and it applies to all types of calls, all thematics. It's a general eligibility rule checked at the very start of our assessment process. So, or you can come as a single urban authority, having minimum 50,000 inhabitants, or you're invited to come as an organized agglomeration or as a grouping of cities together, but you need to reach this minimum threshold of 50,000 inhabitants.
Thank you, Agnieszka. I think you answered quite a few questions that our audience had. I don't see any more, so I think we can hand back over to you. Thank you.